Hi everyone, I'm Darlene L. Turner and I'm so excited to be here with you on Soothing Sunday. I'm going to be reading from Book 2 of my current Crisis Rescue Team series. Book 1, you met Scarlett Wells in Fatal Forensic Investigation, and you also met her sister, Olive Wells, who is the heroine in Book 2, Explosive Christmas Showdown. And because it has a Christmas scene, I thought it was appropriate to read in front of my Christmas tree because you know it's getting close to that time. So here we go. Chapter 1. Someone will die in your office today. CI analyst Olive Wells gripped her cell phone tighter and halted at the entrance of the federal police headquarters in Ottawa, Ontario. Who's this? An icy wind swirled around her neck, and she tugged her plaid scarf closer to block out the snowy day and her jackhammering heartbeat thundering through her head. Who do you think? Just call me JB for short. The caller's distorted voice indicated he used a changer app to disguise his identity. A throaty evil laugh rumbled over top of jingle bells booming through her cell phone. Let's play a game, shall we? The music on her phone stopped. Olive gulped. The Jingle Bell bomber had somehow gotten access to her unlisted cell phone number. Thoughts of the serial bomber threatening her region circled in her mind. Earlier, her leader had announced at a unit meeting that Olive would lead the criminal investigative analysis team in providing the profile to catch the Jingle Bell bomber. No pressure. She pushed through the door and scrambled to the security desk, waving her hand to get the officer's attention. She muted her cell phone. Trace this call, she whispered. Serial bomber on the line. Normally she'd get a warrant, but the circumstance justified her request. On it. Constable Bracken bolted upright and clicked his radio, asking for a trace on Olive's cell phone. She unmuted the phone. Are you still there, Ollie? Olive shuddered. His use of her nickname implied JB knew her personally, or was it just an educated guess? Something she refused to do. Guesses in her line of work could mean life or death. Santa Baby played over her building's speaker system, interrupting her thoughts. The Christmas tree lights in the foyer corner flickered in syncopation as if mocking her fear. I'm here. What do you want from me? Well, I like Mariah's version of that song better. A pause followed by a menacing snicker sailed through the phone. Get to your cubicle or I will detonate the bomb right now. She bypassed the elevator and hustled to the stairs. She didn't want to risk getting cut off. Why me? Do I know you? She had to keep him talking. Find out more to include in her profile and give her colleagues time to trace the call. She hurried up the steps. Are you trying to psychoanalyze me? Trace the call? It won't work. You have exactly 30 minutes to find my Christmas present. I'm not qualified. I need to call the bomb unit. Don't even think about it. You do that and I will set it off. Only you and a special someone I sent your way can play my Jingle Bell game. What? Who was he referring to? She reached her floor, opened the door, and stopped to catch her breath. A thought entered her mind. She must get to someone else to get their attention. What about her boss? She turned left toward his office. Ollie, you're going the wrong way. Your cubicle is in the other direction. She sucked in a breath. That's right, I can see you. She pivoted and spots danced in her vision as the room swayed. Breathe. You can do this. She braced herself against the wall and looked at the hall camera, scowling. Tisk, tisk, turn that frown upside down. He laughed. By the way, you look pretty in green. She grimaced and resisted the urge to catch an officer's attention. How did you get access to our video cameras? This is a secure building. Olive walked toward her work area, bent on obeying JB's rules. Her desire to protect innocent lives trumped her own fears. The bomber had already killed 2 people, one of them a police officer in her hometown of Stitts Rock Falls, 20 minutes from Canada's capital, and where she still lived today. She couldn't bring herself to live in a large city. Stick Rock Falls' population of 20,000 suited her just fine. Thankfully, her boss had approved her working from home full time, with occasional in person meetings in Ottawa, like today. JB's case had warranted extra in person team collaboration. Let's just say I spend much of my time alone, JB said. Loner, probably lives by himself or with his mother. Male, mid-30s, polite. Olive silently ticked the boxes to include on her profile. She had been reading up on famous serial bombers in the past 48 hours. What was JB's motive? Revenge? Political? Morning, Olive, Lauren Trotter said. See, the boss put you in charge of this one, huh? Her fellow CI analyst's lips flattened. Lauren had had it in for Olive ever since Olive's profiling had helped her sister Scarlett catch the Coastline Strangler. Her boss had praised Olive's work in front of everyone, promoted her, given her the largest cubicle, and approved her working from Stick Rock Falls. However, she had seniority over the rookie analyst, something Lauren tried hard to ignore. Step away from the pretty blonde, JB said. Time to start our game. Go to your desk. Morning, Lauren. Olive raised her cell phone. I gotta take this important call. Chat later. Good girl. JB's sarcastic tone sounded through the phone. Olive struggled to curb her heightened heartbeat as she stepped into her spacious corner cube by the window. She tossed her purse on her desk and wiggled out of her coat. Listen here, don't you dare put all these people at risk. Why target us? What did we do to you? Temper, temper. It's simple. Your department is getting in my way, and I can't have that. Why are you killing people? Olive jiggled her mouse to bring her computer to life. She wanted to take notes to help get the profile right. That's not on today's agenda. Okay, here's how the game will work. You have 30 minutes to find the Christmas present. You can't tell anyone what you're doing or tip off any other officers to the danger. Only the man on his way to see you can play. If you engage anyone else, I will find out and you will pay. Olive's laptop dinged. A message from Constable Bracken. The call is pinging off multiple cell towers. Keep him talking. The team required more time. What man? She asked. You'll find out soon enough. She wanted more information. You killed a postal worker and a police officer. What's the connection between the two? Maybe there's one and maybe there isn't. You didn't think I'd make the game that easy, did you? A question entered her mind. Do you hate Christmas? Is that why you started bombing now? A dog barked close by. Her pulse elevated. Ever since a dog attacked her at the age of 12 and left a scar on the bridge of her nose, she was terrified of them. Ah, your help has arrived. Let the game begin. Remember the rules, JB warned as Jingle Bells played briefly before the call clicked off. A knock sounded on her cubicle's metal wall. She rose to her feet and came face to face with the man who'd broken her heart. Constable Zach Turner, her ex-fiancé, and his canine partner Ziva stood outside her work area. Olive's phone slipped from her fingers, ignoring the sudden rush of emotion. She inhaled sharply and squared her shoulders. For the sake of everyone inside the building, she had to work with the last person she wanted to see right now. You can do this. Stick Rock Falls Constable Zach Turner's jaw dropped at Ollie's reaction to their presence. The Jingle Bell bomber had called him and ordered him to her office to play his game. No other players allowed. He advised his leader that a confidential informant in Ottawa had requested a meet. Zach hated secrets, but he had to follow the rules or else. He wouldn't put her life or her co-workers' lives at risk. However, JB had said nothing about leaving Ziva behind. Zach's trusty chocolate lab would help to locate the bomb quickly. She'd been trained in explosive detection while stationary and moving, plus search and rescue. The dual-purpose canine had already gained a positive reputation for herself, but Ollie's ashen face told him she was not pleased to see them. Ziva, sit, Zach commanded. She obeyed. He addressed Ollie. I'm sorry, didn't mean to startle you. The Jingle Bell bomber made it quite clear I couldn't contact you or anyone before I came. Zach set his bomb kit bag down. Olive scooped her phone off the floor. JB sent you and Ziva to help me find this bomb? Well, technically, he said nothing about Ziva, only that I couldn't tell anyone or evacuate the building, or he'd blow it and more people would die. He paused. Should he tell her the rest? He raked his fingers through his short hair. He also told me that you and your parents would die if I didn't obey. Her hand flew to her mouth, but not in time to squelch her cry. Her eyes glistened. I don't understand, Zach. It's like he knows us somehow. He called me Ollie. Zach's breath hitched at the bomber's use of her nickname. When Zach and Ollie were together, only her family and her close friends along with him used it. Could be a coincidence. He didn't believe in those, though. The Jingle Bell bomber had targeted them both for a reason. Why? But why you and not the Ottawa police? A question Zach had asked. He said, my reasons are my own. Just follow the rules or more people will die. The last words JB had spoken before hanging up. Ollie peered at her watch. We have 25 minutes. Impossible to get through the building so quick. Some game, huh? He probably doesn't expect us to win, but what he didn't count on here was Ziva. Ziva's ears raised at the mention of her name. How will we get her to search without arousing suspicion? JB is watching somehow through our cameras. Plus, everyone will want to know what a dog is doing in the building. Zach tipped his chin. We need a cover story, quick. She chewed on a strand of her brown hair. We'll pretend I'm showing you around the building, that you're currently training her. Yes, let's go. Zach picked up his duffel bag and turned to his lab. Ziva, come. Ziva got up and waited. The dog knew from Zach's tone that it was time to get to work. Zach walked around her work area and stopped. Ollie lagged and approached cautiously. Was she still scared of dogs? He ignored his silent question and focused on his canine. Ziva, seek. He unhooked her leash. Ziva trotted down the hall, moving back and forth while pausing to sniff. A pretty blonde stood from her desk. Olive, what's going on? Ollie inched closer to Zach. Nothing much, just helping Zach train Ziva in an office setting with staff around. Nothing to be concerned about. Did you get the bomb crime scene pictures? Good answer, Zach mumbled. She was good at thinking on her feet. Yes, boss. The woman laced the word boss with sarcasm. Sending them to you now. Ziva wandered farther down the hall. Time to follow her, Zach said. Ollie nodded and walked in step with Zach. He gestured toward the coworker. Wow, she doesn't seem to like you, does she? That's an understatement. Ever since I got promoted, Lauren has had it in for me. She's just jealous. Ziva walked into an office, bringing Zach's attention to the game. I think she's found something. What's going on here? A voice boomed from the room Ziva entered. Great, that's my boss's office, Ollie said. This should be interesting. The pair jogged into the room. Ziva crisscrossed through the large office and back out into the hall before returning to the room and circling the small Christmas tree. She sniffed the gifts and finally sat next to the large one at the back, her alert cue. Zach turned to Ollie. She's found something. Sergeant, sorry for the intrusion, Ollie said. Can you leave your office, please? The balding man stood and fisted his hands on his hips. Not until you tell me what's going on. Why is there a dog sniffing around? And why is your ex-fiancé here? Sergeant Alexander, I will explain everything later. Please just leave the room. His eyes narrowed. Fine, but there better be a good explanation. He stomped out. You too, Olive. Zach retrieved Ziva's ball from his pocket and rewarded her behavior. Ziva, good girl. Sit. Stay. She caught her toy, wagging her tail, and rested in the entranceway. Ollie widened her stance. I'm not going anywhere. We have to get rid of the bomb before it goes off. Can you do that? I know you've worked in a bomb unit before. The expression on her pretty face revealed she was not budging. If he remembered anything from their time together, when she made up her mind, there was no stopping her. Stand in the corner. Zach put on his gloves before inching over to the gift. A note attached to the bow read, "Open me." Zach took a mirror tool from his bag that would help him see under the box's lid. He moved it around, checking for any booby trap wires. Okay, nothing. Opening it now. He gulped and gently lifted the lid. A metal pipe and a piece of paper with the word "boom" lay inside, along with a canister. Using the mirror, Zach peeked inside the canister, and after close inspection, he let out a breath he'd been holding and sat back on his heels, hauling out the clear container. "It's a fake." Ollie walked to his side. "Are you sure?" He held up the canister. "Yes, this is a smokeless powder we use in training detector dogs. This is what Ziva smelled." He lifted out the pipe. A Jingle Bell ornament lay under it, along with an envelope. Ollie typed on it. He gritted his teeth. JB had targeted her. He removed an evidence bag and dropped the note into it before placing it into his duffel bag. "It's addressed to you, but first we need to dust for fingerprints." Both their phones chimed as jingle bells blared through the building speakers. Ziva discarded her toy and jumped up. Zach peered at the text message on his phone. "You cheated, and now someone will die." Zach's heart rate kicked into overdrive as he shouldered his bag. There were more bombs. "Ziva, seek!" The dog dashed from the room. Seconds later, an explosion rocked the floor, followed by the sound of shattering glass. They were under attack from the Jingle Bell Bombers' deadly game. The gift had been a decoy, and Zach had to secure the building before more bombs were unleashed. And that is chapter 1 of Explosive Christmas Showdown, which is available now at retailers near you. I just want to wish you all and your families a very Merry Christmas. Thanks for joining me.